You ever wonder why some people seem to make money faster than you, even though you work just as hard? Or why it feels like you're running in place while other people are somehow pulling ahead? Here's the thing, money doesn't just grow one way. It grows in three fundamentally different ways, and most people only use one of them, which is exactly why they stay stuck. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why effort alone isn't enough, and more importantly, you'll know what actually works. Look, this isn't about working harder. You probably already work hard. This isn't about being smarter either. Most people stuck financially are plenty smart. The problem is the mental model. Most people think money growth works like this. You trade time for money. More hours equals more money. Work harder, get paid more. Simple, right? But that's only one way money grows, and it's the slowest one. It's also the one that has a ceiling you'll hit no matter how good you get. So let me show you all three, and I promise, once you see this, you can't unsee it. All right, let's talk about the first way money grows. Time-based growth. This is money that grows because you show up. Hourly jobs, salaries, freelance work, gig economy stuff. If you stop showing up, the money stops. Now here's what's important to understand. Time-based money grows linearly, which means if you make $25 an hour and you work 40 hours, you make $1,000. If you want to make $2,000, you work 80 hours. Want $3,000? You'd need to work 120 hours. But there's only 168 hours in a week, and you need to sleep, so there's a hard ceiling. And it doesn't matter how good you get at your job. You could be the best employee in the company, but you still can't work more than 24 hours in a day. This is where most people get stuck. They think the solution is to get better at what they do, so they level up their skills, they get promoted, they negotiate raises, and yeah, that helps. But you're still trading time for money. You're just trading it at a better rate. Let me show you what this looks like visually. Imagine your income is a straight line going up. Year 1, you make $50,000. Year 5, maybe you're at $70,000. Year 10, maybe $90,000 if you're lucky. It's growth, but it's slow, and it's capped. Now don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with time-based income. Most people start here. I started here. But if this is your only source of income, you will never get ahead, because you're limited by the one resource you can't make more of, time. And here's the part that really sucks. The people who rely only on time-based income work just as hard as people who make way more. They're not lazy, they're not dumb. They just don't have access to the other two ways money grows. So let's talk about those. Now let's talk about the second way money grows, leverage-based growth. This is money that grows because one action works more than once. Instead of trading your time directly for money, you create something once and it keeps working. Examples: you own a business, your employees' time creates value even when you're not there. You create content, a video you made 2 years ago can still make you money today. You build software, it can serve 1,000 customers at once without you being involved. This is leverage, and here's why it matters. Leverage lets the same input produce more output. Two people can work equally hard, but one of them gets 10 times the result because they're using leverage. Let me give you a real example. Imagine two people both spend 40 hours building something. Person A builds furniture. They make one table, they sell it for $500, they move on to the next one. Person B creates an online course. They spend 40 hours building it once, but then they sell it to 100 people. Same time investment, completely different outcome. This is why business owners make more than employees. It's not because they work harder. A lot of times they don't. It's because they've built systems that keep working without them. Their effort scales. And here's the part most people miss. You don't need to build a huge company to use leverage. You can use leverage in small ways. You can automate parts of your job. You can create templates or systems that save you time. You can outsource tasks. You can build an audience online that compounds over time. Leverage is what separates people who trade time for money from people who use their time to build things that keep generating value. But here's the catch. Leverage takes upfront effort with no immediate reward. You have to build the thing before it starts working for you. And most people quit here because it feels like you're working for free at first. This is why most people never escape time-based income. They're not willing to put in work today that pays off later. They need the money now, which I get, but that's why they stay stuck. If you want to grow faster, you need leverage, period.
All right, now the third way, and this is the one that creates real wealth, compounding growth. This is money that grows because growth itself starts producing growth. Your money makes money, then that money makes money, and it snowballs. Think about investments. You invest $10,000. It grows 10% and becomes $11,000. Next year, that $11,000 grows 10%. So now you have $12,100. You didn't add any money, but you made $1,100 this year instead of $1,000 because the growth from last year is now also growing. This is compound interest. Einstein allegedly called it the eighth wonder of the world, and he was right, because compounding doesn't just apply to money in the stock market, it applies to everything. Your skills compound. When you learn one thing, it makes the next thing easier to learn. Your network compounds. Every person you meet can introduce you to more people. Your business compounds. Reinvested profits let you grow faster than spending them. Here's what's wild about compounding. It's painfully slow at first, like frustratingly slow. You put in all this effort and it feels like nothing's happening. But then it accelerates, and once it starts accelerating, it becomes exponential. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine you save $500 a month and invest it at 8% annual return. After year one, you've got about $6,000, not life-changing. After 5 years, you've got around $37,000. Okay, that's something. But after 20 years, you've got over $275,000. And after 30 years, you've got over $700,000. Same monthly contribution, but the back half grows way faster than the first half. This is why wealth gaps widen over time. It's not because rich people work harder in year 20, it's because they've been compounding for 20 years while other people are still at year 1. And here's the brutal truth. Most people quit before compounding shows up. They invest for 2 years, see slow results, and pull their money out. They build a business for 18 months, don't see growth, and shut it down. They're giving up right before the curve starts to bend. Warren Buffett made 99% of his wealth after age 50, not because he got smarter at 50, because that's when decades of compounding finally showed up. So if you want real wealth, you need all three of these working together. Time-based income pays your bills today. Leverage scales your effort, and compounding builds wealth over time. Most people only use one. That's why they stay stuck.